Okay, so this is me going over the Chapter 8 Advanced Test. Question number 1, it says Alicia and her father are painting a wall in their basement. Alicia shaded a grid to show how much of the wall they've painted so far. What percent of the grid is not shaded? Well, we did this the day before in class, and we found out that 40% is shaded. So if 40% is shaded, the question is how much is not? And most of you got that right, so I'm pretty sure that's not going to be a problem for you guys. Number 2, what's 35% of 50? Two ways to solve this. You can convert this to a decimal and then multiply times 50, or you can set up a proportion, putting on 100 here. 50 comes after of, that's the total amount. You want to find 35% of that amount. So what number out of 50 is going to equal 35 out of 100? And then you can just solve the proportion. Cross multiply and divide, or say 50 times what is 100, so multiply 30, what number times 30 times that same thing will equal 35. Okay? This is probably going to be the easiest way, using multiplication. Don't forget about the decimal. Number 3, solve this proportion. So here's the proportion. You're going to cross multiply and then divide. You take 72 divided by 3, you're going to get your answer. Or 3 times what equals 36? Multiply 2 times the same thing. You can also get your answer. It's going to be 14, 24, 34, or 44. Number 4, here's your hint. 75%. If this was 50%, it would be 4 boxes, because that's half, right? 50% is 4 boxes. That's 4 out of 8 is going to be 50%. And you know that 8 out of 8 is going to be 100%. So the question is, what's going to be right in the middle? That's 75%. Or what's in the middle of 8 and 4? What comes right in the middle between 4 and 8? I hope that helps. Number 5, a study found that 9% of dog owners brush their dog's teeth. Out of 200, how many would be expected to brush their dog's teeth? So you're going to convert this to a decimal and multiply it times 200. Or when you find 9% of 200, you can also set up a proportion. 9% is 9 out of 100. So what out of 200 is the same as 9 out of 100? And if you say, oh, that times something equals 200, oh, multiply 9 times the same thing. You can also get your answer that way. If that was too fast, just go back and listen to me and say it again, okay? Number 6, what's 3,500 written as a percent? Now, these 2 questions and some of the ones on the back, if you completely forgot what to do, then in your notes, there's conversions. Conversions between percentages and decimals and percentages. This is a percent to a decimal. And then this is a decimal to a percent. So just follow the instructions that are given and then do what it says. And it's really that simple. And then number 7, how do we know if 2 fractions are proportional? Well, if you got this wrong, I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you have a second chance because it's either yes or no. So if you missed it, it's obviously the other one. But you would cross multiply, and if they equal each other, then they are proportional. We did that together last week. There's a whole assignment where the whole assignment was just doing those kind of questions. Number 8, use your notes just like number 6. And then on the back, you have a circle graph, and Spencer spent this much percent of $500 on gasoline. So how much is that? Well, convert 11% to a decimal, and then multiply it times 500. And you better know how to multiply those. And then whatever answer you get, that's the answer. Now, next question is asking true or false. So if you missed it, I'm not going to give you a second chance. But he did not spend $18 on entertainment. He spent 18%. Now, 18% of 100 is $18, but it's not 100 he spent in July. It's 500. So he did not spend $18. He spent 18%. Number 10, if you missed it, it's because you put no instead of yes. Now, why is it yes? Well, think about it this way. If this is 50% of 400, that's half of 400, right? Which is $200. And what's 100% of 200? Remember, 100% is everything. It's all of that. So the 100% of 200 is also 200. And these are equal. So if 50% of 400 is equal to 200, and if 100% is equal to 200, then you would think that 52%, since that's a little bit more than 50, would be a little bit more than $200, and it would be true, which makes her correct, thinking that 52% of 400 is going to be more than 100%. So that's why, yeah, I'm going to stop there before I say too much and make it confusing. Number 11 is a tricky one, I'm not going to lie. What you need to do is it tells you that Alistair's father is 110% of Alistair's height. Now, if Alistair's father was 100%, he's going to be exactly 70 inches. So being a little bit more than 100% means he's going to be a little bit more than 70 inches tall. So to find out his exact height, just take 110% of 70. So you convert 70 to a decimal, and you would multiply, okay? And when you do that, you're going to get 77 inches. Now, what's funny is some of you are actually going to stop the video and say, wait a second, I put that, why did I miss it? Miss Norma, you got me wrong, I didn't miss it, I put C. But the question is not asking how tall is his dad, it's how much taller. So if his dad is 77 inches and Alistair is 70 inches, what do you do with those two numbers to find out how much more 77 is than 70? How much taller is he? That's the question. So you answer that question and you get your answer. Number 12. Which statement below shows x is at least 4? Now this is a tricky one. So here's what I've said to a couple of students. If I said, hey, if you want to go to the, I don't know, hey, can I go to Bahama Bucks, Dad? Yeah, but you need at least $4 for their prices. So if you need at least $4 to go to Bahama Bucks, and they gave you this much money, is that going to be enough? No, it's not. If they gave you this much and you need at least 4, is that going to be enough? Yes. And if they gave you this much, is that going to be enough? Yes. So the money that you're getting, which is X, you know it can't be less than 4. It has to be equal to or more than $4. So which symbol shows more than or equal to $4? That's your answer. Number 13. You got to do the opposite of minus 5.4. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one that's really close, and I'm going to do it over here, okay? Let's do this. Now, if I'm solving this, to get x by itself, I got to do the opposite of what I see. So I'm going to add 3.2 to both sides. But some of you are going to do it this way, and you would get 0, 1, you would get 4.0, and you just missed it. Cross out the twins, bring the x down. There's your equal. Now, it's not this. You just did it wrong, because what you're forgetting is you've got to line up the decimals. Because you have to make 8. When you add decimals, you got to make it a decimal, and now you have to line up the decimals. So it's not 4, because what's 8 plus 3? 8 plus 3 is 11. So 8 plus 3.2 is going to be a little bit more than that. So when you line these up, that's going to be my answer. So when you solve number 13, and you do the opposite of minus 5.4 to both sides, you better put a decimal to this number, and then line up the decimals, and then you can add, okay? So good luck with that. Number 14, 75% of what number is 15? A lot of you missed this because you did 75% as a decimal and you multiplied, and that's not what's going on here. It's not 75% of 15. It's 75% of what number? So you're going to have to set up a proportion to solve this. 75% is 75 over 100. And then there's no number after the of, so that's where the x goes. This is of x. So you're going to put your 15 here, and that's what you're going to solve. Cross multiply, and then divide, and you get your answer. And number 15, you do it the same way. Set up a proportion. Now, they don't know the percent. What percent? So there's my percent. It's an x. There's my of. It's of 30. 12 goes here, and always 100 goes here. And that's a 12. That's ugly. So cross multiply, divide, and you get your answer. Hope that was helpful. And make sure you email me your new answers once you're done. Or if you're in class, just bring me your paper after you fix your mistakes. Thank you.